What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be doing an oil change on my 2016 WRX, but I'm going to be doing something a little different than last time. If you haven't already seen my 2016 WRX oil change video, I'll post a little box up in the top right hand corner here that'll show you the process I used for doing the oil change. Obviously it's a very simple process, you probably don't need a video, but I just documented it anyways. I used Pennzoil Platinum in the last oil change. Now in this oil change, I'll show you what I'm using. So this time I'm using the Mobil 1 Synthetic 5W30. I'm using this because it was on sale for about $38 for the two, which is a really good deal. The Pennzoil right now would run me about $60 to $65 for 5 liters properly. So I'm going to be using Mobil 1 5W30 Synthetic. It is approved for warranty spec requirements. But another thing I have is a package here. See if I can do this kind of one-handed. So this is an Easy Oil drain valve. I talked about this in one of my previous vlogs. The company Easy Oil, they are also in Canada, sent me the wrong valve initially. On their website, their part number catalog for the 2015 WRX had the incorrect drain plug size. So essentially I got the wrong size, and what I'm going to do is give that to a friend who's got a 2013 STI. But what they did was very kindly send me a new one free of charge. So I've now got the new, I don't know what the exact specification on this is, the size, but the model number is the EZ108H. You got to make sure it's the 108 and I believe not the 105. So I'm going to be installing this oil change, and what this is, if you don't know, is a quick drain valve, because I kind of have to do oil changes fairly often based on the amount I drive. So this will make oil changes really quick. All you have to do is undo the little latch. I'll put a little safety pin up there, and then you can undo it and change your oil really easily. Anyways guys, I'm going to get to the oil change now. I'm going to drain the oil, replace the filter, and then I'll install the Easy Oil drain valve, and I'll show you what the drain valve looks like when I'm done installing it. But if you want to see how I do the oil change on my WRX, or if you don't know how for some reason, I'll post the video again in the top right corner to my last oil change video. The only difference is this time I'll be using the Mobil 1 oil, and I'll be installing the Easy Oil drain valve, which I'll show you again after I'm done installing it here. So all the oil has basically drained out now, and what I'm going to do is install the new Easy Oil drain valve just by screwing it in first. The clearance with the exhaust heat shield here is very tight, like less than 1 millimeter. So once I've gotten it on there, I'm going to use an open-end wrench here to tighten it around the actual valve. Now the valve itself has a rubber O-ring gasket, so it's going to seal up. You don't need to use the crush gasket. So make sure you remember that. Alright guys, so we're underneath the car right now, and I wanted to show you what the drain valve looks like. What I was talking about was there's very little clearance between this heat shield here and the valve, but if you turn this open, it's easier to do because this part hits the heat shield here. But what you have to do is you have to tighten it using an open-ended wrench on this spot here, on the actual body of the valve. And then once you've tightened this on really snug onto the oil pan, and then once you've tightened that on nice and snug, and remember you don't need a crush gasket because there's an O-ring rubber washer in behind this, then you'll tighten this part, and this is a 17 millimeter socket that you'll need to use, and you just tighten this part on, and it actually tightens this and tightens this up to this, and then it's perfect. It's really nice and tight, and the way it has orientated itself, I don't know if it's just by luck, but it's in a perfect position for me to be able to do really easy oil changes. I can access this really easily, and what I'm going to do is use a hose ring clamp around this part that will prevent it from literally being able to accidentally open if I'm going over any sort of like rough terrain. It does recommend it on the website for any off-road vehicles, but I mean, you can never be too safe, and for an extra $1 for that clamp, I mean, why not, right? So now that I've got the oil drain valve, we want to put the oil filter back on. And remember how I did this last time with putting oil in the rubber gasket on there and taking it out and really lubricating it? Check out that video if you want to see how I install the oil filter on right now. Just hand snug. Pretty much as tight as you can go. Alright guys, so I finished doing the oil change. I'll let you know how the easy oil drain valve does, and if it starts to leak or something, I'll let you know. I'm pretty confident in it. It's got a lot of really great reviews, and I know the material it's made out of is pretty high quality, and the ball valve within and the actual sealing within is actually really good quality from what I understand. So it should work pretty well, and it should make my oil changes just that much faster. So I'll drop a link down in the description to the easy oil drain valve, and if you're interested in getting it, you can. It's pretty cheap. I think it was around $30 Canadian. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer it right away. Of course, I've been answering all questions, comments, anything like that. Anything to do with my WRX, or if you want to talk about my bike, feel free to just drop a comment down below. And if you want to see more WRX or my R6 videos, please feel free to press the subscribe button down in the bottom right hand corner. I really appreciate that. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks.